In this video, we're going to be learning how we can use the quadratic formula to solve a quadratic equation. With a quadratic, it generally comes in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. In order to be able to use the quadratic formula, the quadratic has to equal 0, and we need to identify what the values of a, b, and c are. A is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the term that's by itself, the number. The quadratic formula is x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. Once I know that a is equal to 5, b is equal to negative 13, and c is equal to 3, I can substitute these values into the quadratic formula. So negative 13 plus or minus the square root of negative 13 squared minus 4 times 5 times 3 all over 2 times 5. Now before we grab a calculator, start evaluating as much as you can. That negative 13 is 13, and we know that the square root of negative 13 squared, which is 169, take away 4 times 5 times 3, which is 60, will all be over 10. Simplifying the bit inside of the square root would give me 13 plus or minus the square root of 109, all divided by 10. With my working, I can now see that there are two possible answers of x. One where we have x is equal to 13 plus the square root of 109 divided by 10. And the second where we have x is equal to 13 minus the square root of 109, all divided by 10. Now grabbing my calculator and evaluating both of these, the first answer gives x as being 2.34 to 2 decimal places, and the second one gives 0.26 to 2 decimal places. Pause the video here and have a go at the question on the right hand side. When you're ready for the answer, press play. With this quadratic equation, a is equal to 10, b is equal to negative 3, and c is equal to negative 9. Substituting the values into the quadratic formula gives me negative 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 3 squared minus 4 times 10 times negative 9. This is all being divided by 2 times 10. Simplifying where I can, I get 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 plus 360, all divided by 20. And simplifying again gives me 3 plus or minus the square root of 369, all divided by 20. This means that x will equal 3 plus the square root of 369 divided by 20, or x will equal 3 minus the square root of 369, all divided by 20. Grabbing a calculator and evaluating both of these calculations will give 1.11 to 2 decimal places, or negative 0.81 to 2 decimal places.